forgot my glasses, excuse me. Can you hand me my glasses? Right there. No, those are mine.
Said have hers on.
Could you start my time over, please, so I have my 3 minutes?
Okay, folks.
Can I have my 3 minutes?
Yes. Yeah, we haven't started yet.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Okay, you're going to start.
Hi, good evening. My name is Marsha McLean, and I am the Mayor Pro Tem for the City of Santa Clarita. I began my career working for the Los Angeles Police Department, and after several years, I worked for a City of Los Angeles councilman at the Los Angeles City Hall in his field office. I then worked for the United States government at the American embassies in Tel Aviv, Israel, and Paris, France. I met my husband, Dale, in Paris. We were married in New York and drove to California. We moved to Canyon Country in 1973. We have 3 grown children and 6 grandchildren. As a business owner with my husband, I am active in the SCV Chamber of Commerce and was responsible for the city becoming a member of the SCV Latino Chamber of Commerce. I attend monthly meetings and participate in the Valley Industrial Association programs such as Connecting to Success, teaching young people how to make it in the business world. I am a full-time councilwoman available every day to serve our residents. I serve on regional boards, commissions, and coalitions that focus on transportation issues. My active participation in regional organizations such as the Southern California Association of Governments and the San Fernando Valley COG helps our city to advocate for funding for services and to maintaining the great community we now enjoy. I have taken a leadership role with the League of California Cities, saving local taxpayers $1.3 million a year by fighting to keep city dollars in the city's budget and not Sacramento's. My husband and I own a small business which I manage, and we know how to balance a budget. Since I have been on the council, the city's budget reserves have been raised from 8% to 17%. The reserves are held to be used in case of emergencies such as earthquake or fire. My experience, commitment, and dedication are what allow me to do the job necessary to bring the residents and businesses of Santa Clarita the benefits we demand. Transportation issues are important to our community, and I have advocated for and gained funding for a new Metrolink station that will provide SCV residents a direct train to the Burbank Bob Hope Airport. And it is an honor to have the support of firefighters, law enforcement, educators, business owners, seniors, and environmentalists. And with your vote, April 8th, I promise to continue working full-time for the citizens of Santa Clarita. Your vote is more important than ever to make sure we continue to enjoy the quality of life we deserve. Please vote for Marsha McLean. Any questions at all, call me. My phone number's in the phone book. You can visit my website at www.reelectmarshamclean.com. Thank you.
And now for our question portion.
Chair Gilmore, could I have your position on climate change, please?
Yes. Climate change is either a problem or not a problem. What happened with climate change is the state has mandated to us on SB 375 and AB 32 that we must meet certain standards. And so as a city, we kind of got ahead of the game and were able to put into place certain programs such as LEED buildings, changing out our old-fashioned buses to diesel, and going into natural gas for our fleet of cars, in working to make sure that buildings and such that are being built projects meet all the state requirements, because otherwise we can be fined. I'm very proud to say that we are a city that has taken the bull by the horn, so to speak, and have more than met the requirements that are needed in order to meet the state mandates.
So you are saying you do see it as a serious problem, climate change?
It is a problem. Pollution is a problem in our air. We need to do everything that we can in order to alleviate that pollution.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Laurie Rivas, and I'll attest you are very available. You responded to emails, phone calls. According to the American Library Association, a library board of trustees has the authority for developing and implementing library policies. Can you please highlight any library policies, programs, or any other library matters that have been discussed at recent meetings of the Library Board of Trustees?
Well, the Library Board of Trustees is made up of the City Council. And the Library Board of Trustees is made up, I believe, of City Council members because we want to keep it accessible to the residents. If you were to turn it out over to another and make it an autonomous group, that's exactly what it would be. It would be autonomous. None of the City Council members would have a say about it, and none of you out there would have a say. It is almost like the Regional Water Quality Control Board, where there is no one overseeing that board, and they dictate what you may or may not do. And we did not want to see that same thing for our libraries. Our libraries are accessible to the community. They are city-owned public libraries, and that is the reason that we, as City Council members, me personally, am in favor of keeping it under the city auspices rather than turning it over to some autonomous board who can do whatever they want.
Good evening. My name is Tony Floyd.
Hi.
Hello. I live next door. There's an autonomous gang unit operating in my neighborhood, Latino-based, and I'm kind of curious about what you would be doing about the crime that is going on right here. The young man was murdered on Sundowner Way last month, 25 years old, stabbed to death, killed outside my bedroom window. And it seems to be a little more important that we keep our young people from killing each other instead of worried about extraneous warm earth problems.
Right. I certainly can understand your concern, and I am also extremely concerned about any gang activity. We have a sheriff's department that is really fantastic. Sometimes things happen, such as happened in your neighborhood, and it is a shame. I hope that you did contact the zoned leader from the sheriff's department and spoke with him about what can be done. We have something new and innovative here in Santa Clarita, and our sheriff's department has created zones with one officer in those zones so that they can deal with the neighborhood, learn about the neighborhood, the community can learn about the officer and can have a good dialogue so that things like that are taken care of and don't happen. So I really do empathize with you, and we need to do as much as we can in order to deal with our gangs.
Well, can I follow up with it then? We have our own
That's the next
security.
question.
Well, I'm sorry.
Just take a number, please. Let someone else. You can come up again, please.
Wendy Albright, Valencia.
Hi.
Marsha, do you believe that a mayor or mayor pro tem should be able to lead a city council meeting by example or by threat?
I believe that the mayor or mayor pro tem of a city council meeting is presiding over the meeting, and the meeting needs to be done in a respectful way, both ways, from us and from the audience. And there are certain rules and regulations that are followed, and I would hope that the people who come to the city council meetings feel like they are heard and respected. I absolutely believe that any audience member, any resident is more than welcome to come to our city council meetings, present a concern, state their opinion. Absolutely 100%.
Okay, for the record, they're not your audience, they're your constituents.
Okay, please. Please, okay.
Okay.
Next question, please.
Ed Dunn, 44-year 44-year resident of Canyon Country and a former elected director of 2 water agencies locally. I would like to understand why you and your colleague, Council Member West, at the beginning of the Sand District thing, and also at the beginning of the Cross Valley Connector thing when we had public hearings, why at those times when the overwhelming opposition to both items was the general public and the residents of this community, and you voted against us. You voted against us in the Sand District and took 50 million, put us in 50 million a year debt forever. You voted against us in the Cross Valley Connector that was on the wrong side of the river, didn't go where we wanted to go, doesn't have the traffic today. They're still on Soledad, and it was $750 million, not million, $750 million of everybody's money, including the people across the country, to build the Cross Valley Connector. You had overwhelming opposition. That's my question.
Your question is, please?
The question is, they had overwhelming opposition from the public and the residents in both those items, and they went against us.
Well, actually, the fact is when I was on the Sanitation District Board, serving on the board, we had a very large audience, and the large audience said, vote no, and I voted no. We all voted no. So therefore, it set the wheels in motion for the Regional Water Quality Control Board to start fining us. We listened to the audience and voted no. The supervisor voted no, I voted no, and I believe if it was Lorene on at the time, we all voted no. So those are the facts. So we did do that. Regarding the Cross Valley Connector, it is so well used, and it is so popular, and it has taken tons of traffic all off of Soledad Canyon. And I use it, and everyone who uses it, they say how much they appreciate it. And it cost about $275 million to build that. It was a partnership between Newhall Land, the federal government, I believe there were some state funds used, and some other grant money that was used. We can get you, if you would like, I'd be more than happy to provide you with the statistics that show that it is very much used and has taken a whole bunch of traffic off of Soledad, and especially the Soledad-Bouquet junction there, the intersection.
The Sand District, Frank Ferry told you to vote yes, and you did.
Next questioner, please.
I'm sorry, that's not correct.
We're not going to debate, please. Next question,
Okay.
please.
It's Ethan, Jules, Saugus. Hi.
Hi.
Last week, the billboard issue, there was obviously an antagonistic approach between what the entire audience was trying to say about the billboard, saying, you know, we don't want this billboard deal be done in a back room, which, you know, you and the other couple of council members seem really intent on carrying
Your
forward
question is,
for.
please.
My question is with regard to Lane Lawson, the director of Clear Channel Communications, came up and stated that the city in this backroom deal was actually splitting this deal 4 ways, when really all other cities, as an example of these deals,
Your
only split it 2
question is,
ways.
please.
Did you know that prior to him speaking that the deal you were working out was actually losing the city $20 million?
Mr. Jewell, I respect your opinion on this, very much so, but I would just like to read you the benefits. Taking down 62 or 118
That's
faces
not my question, though,
of
respectfully,
brightly
Mayor.
lit billboards, of which many shine directly into people's homes, and replacing them with 3 double-sided digital boards,
Thank you.
of
That's
which
not my question.
none will shine into people's homes. A condition that I placed into the contract that if any of them can be seen from anyone's homes, after shielding it cannot be lit. $400,000 to $600,000 extra money annually into the city's budget, which by a condition I placed into the contract will be used for city community projects such as the arts, seniors, youth, community centers are all possibilities.
Please, okay, let's keep it down. Okay. Yeah. Marsha, I believe you're not answering his question from what I'm gathering.
Well,
The question, I'll just state again very
If-
simply,
if
it's yes
it-
or no.
Yeah.
It's yes or no.
A simple question, please.
Same question, yes or no.
What is the question?
Did you or did you not, prior to Lane Lawson speaking at last week's City Council meeting, know that the deal that you were working out in this back room was actually losing the city $20 million?
Sir, there was no deal worked out in any back room, and I would need to have a lot. I cannot answer that yes or no because.
People,
All right, I have answered
Order.
the question, and that's it.
that's, okay, she's answered the question.
All right.
Let's be respectful, folks.
Hi,
Concise questions, please.
Laurie Rivas. You explained that you support keeping the City Council as Library Board of Trustees to serve the people. If so, can you please highlight any library policies, programs, or other library matters that have been discussed at recent meeting of the Library Board of Trustees in service of the public?
The issues that you are speaking about are discussed continuously because the city oversees LSSI. They manage the city's public libraries. There are subcommittee meetings held many times, and policy and such is discussed at the subcommittee meetings. If something were to come up that needed the attention of the board at any of the council meetings, it would be discussed in public, in open. We have not had anyone come forward asking questions that would, regarding policy, that would have us discuss it. If anyone has a problem, it can be placed on the agenda. It would then be discussed in open. The public would be able to come, and the public would be able to participate.
Cam Noltemeyer, then to give them an answer, they actually owe the city about $10 million, and they could bring that up as a policy. What I'm asking you,
Your question is?
Councilman McLean, is that you have been on the board or the council since 2002. In 2002, you were asked to amend your statement of economic interest. And to that, you added C&J's, besides being having your business of Dale's maintenance service, which is in Santa Clarita, you also had another business, C&J's Model Home Maintenance in Pleasanton, California, 94566. You also put that on your statement,
Your question
2003, 2004, 2005, 2006,
Your question is, please.
I do not see it on your current one. Do you still own that and work for the developers with your C&J's Model Home Maintenance?
We do not own CJ's Model Home Maintenance. CJ's Model Home Maintenance is in Pleasanton. They subcontracted our services out, and they gave us jobs to do out here, and we serviced those jobs. They are not developers. They are window cleaners, and they service and they serviced the models that were built out here. We had nothing to do with any of their contracts other than they contacted us and we did the work, and that was disclosed on all of our statements. We are no longer
Question is,
work
do you
for them.
still have that contract working for the
No,
developers?
ma'am, we do not.
I think she's answered the question.
As of what date?
As of about
gonna move
4
on,
or 5
please.
years ago.
No, I'm sorry, you were still listing it.
Next question, please. Okay, Marsha.
Ed Dunn, one more time. On the very first meeting of the Sand District, I believe it was Director West and you were both on the district. The public was very opposed to it. Director West, shall we go with it? Should we fight? Asked for raise of hands, and the whole room said, we'll fight. You people said, we'll fight. How is that fight going?
Well, unfortunately, the Regional Water Quality Control Board didn't like the fact that we were going to fight. And since they are autonomous over us, they went ahead and fined us. You know, it's not over. The whole thing is not over. We are working very hard to make sure that our residents are not having to pay what they are asking us to pay. I was in Sacramento yesterday. Fran Pavley, who's a state senator, spoke to us and told us that there is going to be grant money. There is a water bond that is going to be put on the ballot, and within that water bond, we can request grant money in order to pay for some of the things that are being mandated against us. So even though they are saying a figure, I'm telling you, the fight is not over. We are fighting for you 100% to keep. I'm a resident just like you are. I don't want to pay any more taxes and fees, and I fight them. I fight all unfair taxes and fees to the best of my ability. And with my service through the League of California Cities, I have saved our community millions of dollars. And exactly on one thing, $1.3 million per year coming back to all of you in our budget.
Get Sacramento,
just one
let the
question. Well,
voters,
she's
let the
answered the
voters,
question.
let the voters get
The next-
to, let the voters get to the water board.
Next question. Oh, wait a minute. There's no more time. She has 25 seconds. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you, Rick. And now for your 3-minute summation, please.
Okay, thank you so much. You know, first of all, I want to say thank you for doing this here and helping us to get the word out to the voters. I was a charter member. It was called Canyon Country Better Than Ever way back then. I was a charter member of the group, and we took our community pride very seriously, and I'm happy that you do as well. You know, sometimes we tend to take good things for granted. For instance, our city is one of a very few in California that maintains a balanced budget and has a 17% reserve with a goal towards 20%. As a small business owner, I understand the need for positive economic development, and it doesn't matter if you manage a budget of $30,000 or $165 million. The premise is the same. You don't spend more than you take in, and you put some away for a rainy day. We have a 0% tolerance for graffiti and gangs. We have one of the safest cities in the nation, and this doesn't happen by accident. It takes hard work and dedication to make it happen. When cities are facing bankruptcy, we are healthy. When the economy took a downturn, we became aggressive in pursuing positive economic development with a very successful business plan. And this type of dealing with the times takes foresight and planning and fresh new ideas. Because of my background and working with all levels of government, I know how to fight through the bureaucracy to deal with difficult issues and bring positive solutions. We are facing some ongoing issues with chlorides and possible new stormwater costs that can be devastating to businesses and our residents. I have never backed down from a fight, and I will continue to do whatever is necessary to deal with unfair fees or taxes. I am a full-time councilwoman, and I am available every day to all of you. I personally respond to all emails. I ask the tough questions, and transparency in government continues to be one of my top priorities. I ask for your support and your vote on April 8th. My web is reelectmarshamclean.com, phone 255-1259. I'm number 3 on the ballot, and I hope you will count down to number 3 and put your little check mark next to Marsha McLean. Thank you all very, very much.